Hey everybody, Low Carb Keith here. As you can tell, I'm not in my kitchen, I am in my office. And today I want to take a few minutes and talk about net carbs and what that means. Now, those of us who've been eating low carb for a long time, I've been doing it for 6 years, the thing that I learned early on was to calculate your net carbs. What you would do is you would take your total carbohydrate count for a particular food and you would deduct the number of dietary grams of fiber or grams of dietary fiber from that amount. That would give you your net carbs. For example, if I'm eating something that has 12 carbohydrates in it and it has 6 grams of dietary fiber, I would deduct that 6 from the 12 and that would give me 6 net carbs for that food. Well, I got to thinking about it, and over the years, we've got a lot of keto foods and processed foods that have come out. And for example, this is my favorite bread. This is keto bread. It's made by Lewis Bakery called Healthy Life. And as you can see on the front, it says 0 grams of net carbs. Well, on the back, you look and it says it has total carbohydrate for one slice is 9 grams of carbs, but you deduct 8 grams of dietary fiber from it and 1 gram of the allulose, which is a sugar substitute that they put in there, which means that you would deduct 9 from 9, which would give you 0 net carbs. I wondered if that was really true or if that was just a marketing ploy that someone was using to try to sell more keto type products. So I did a little investigating on it. And some people, their train of thought is, yes, you absolutely deduct all of the dietary fiber from the carbohydrates, and that's what gives you your net carbs. However, I did find another train of thought on this, and this is from Toby Smithson, who's with the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics. And Toby Smithson says, if there is 5 grams of fiber or more serving of a food, you can subtract half the grams of fiber from your total carbohydrate intake of that food. You can only do this deduction if the fiber value is 5 grams or more. For example, if a food contains 17 grams of total carbs and 12 grams of fiber, you can subtract 6 grams, which would result in 11 grams of carbs for your body to digest and absorb. So that means, that I'm not sure that's good news for those of us who have been deducting all the dietary fiber from our carbs, but if you're not getting the results from your low-carb diet that you want, that may be something that you want to think about. I have some other foods that I kind of want to talk a little bit about. These are some flour tortillas, and they say on the package 6 net carbs. However, if you look on the back on the nutrition label, it says a total of 18 total carbohydrates per flour tortilla, and there are 12 grams of dietary fiber. So that's true. If you were to deduct the 12 grams from the 18, that would give you 6 net carbs. However, since that is over 5 grams of fiber, in reality, you should probably only deduct 6 of those, which would be 12 net carbs. That I don't know if it's marketing or a trick or what, but you just need to read the nutrition label and be careful. I always thought things that had a lot of carbohydrates in them and had a lot of dietary fiber, it was just too good to be true. One of the other things that I really, really enjoy, and this is kind of a treat for me, and I've been having these for a long time, are these Nature Valley protein chewy bars. They're a great snack at night if you're craving something. They are just the right amount of salty and sweet, and they have 14 total carbohydrates in them with dietary fiber of 5 grams. So that's right on the edge. I guess I could supposedly deduct 5 grams from that 14, and that would give me 9 net carbs for this. They are delicious, and I usually have one of these, not every night, but after supper, just to satisfy my sweet tooth. Now, on the other hand, let's look at some peanut butter. Nothing satisfies me if I have a craving or if I need a snack like a couple of tablespoons of regular old creamy peanut butter. And this Jif is normally what we get, not always. But for 2 tablespoons of this peanut butter, it has 8 carbs in it, 8 grams of carb, and it has 2 grams of dietary fiber. So there, it's not over 5 grams of dietary fiber. And so I deduct that 2 from the 8, and that would give me 6 net carbs for 2 tablespoons of peanut butter. Now, if you are diabetic, if you have diabetes, type 1 or type 2, this is something you need to discuss with your doctor. You need to determine with your doctor what is best for you, because there are other guidelines that go along with people who are on medication for diabetes. So just don't take my word for it. Check with your doctor about that. But in the meantime, for the rest of us who are not diabetic, and you're not getting the kind of results that you want from your low-carb diet, think about changing up the way you calculate net carbs. That may give you just the boost that you need to kind of get over the edge and get to the next step. It can be complicated, but it doesn't necessarily have to be. So I wanted to come to you and talk a little bit about net carbs and what that means, and new ways to formulate your net carbs. I am in a maintenance mode. I've lost the weight that I wanted to lose, which means theoretically I could start adding carbs to my diet, which I have a little bit. But sometimes that backfires, and I gain a few pounds. So I have to kind of go back and refigure my net carb intake for the day. So anyway, I hope this has been helpful. I hope it's been useful. And we didn't even talk about sugar alcohols. I want to share some things about sugar alcohols with you in another video. But in the meantime, keep counting those net carbs and keep on with your low carb eating plan. Thanks for watching.